Welcome back to Wichita's Biz That Is, and our guest today, Paul Bush. And we were talking about technology, and I'd ask about stupid questions people ask. One of the things I was going to go on about, I mentioned Tom Kitch as that designer. Tom was so good and used structured programming where it was all a series of logical questions, and everything flowed from that down to the design. And it was such a pleasure to work with him because it wasn't this, that, the other thing. It was all the logic of it was completely there, and I really enjoyed that.
And that's one of the things that's real fascinating about our business is if people in our industry take kind of a structured or a process-driven approach to something, it leads for repeatable success, it leads to consistent outcomes, and we kind of see our job as being that interface between our end client, the business owner, the business person, and the technology. So we ask, what are you trying to accomplish? What are the steps in your workflow? So we can understand what you're doing, but then we also like to have a repeatable process as we're implementing a technology. So if it works for you, we can do it for somebody else. And that's one of the things that our technical staff finds real gratifying is if they can take a process or a technology that works, for example, at a healthcare client, and then implement that at a law firm with maybe just a couple simple tweaks. It's a little, to use a cliche, a little outside of the box, but it still helps the client achieve their end goal.
You said what, 98, 99?
98.
What are the big changes in the business? What has changed in the technology that you have to deal with?
Probably the most fascinating change has been the internet and what we're today calling the cloud. One of my favorite quotes from about 1999, a local newspaper interviewed a client of mine and asked him, "How has the internet changed your business?" And he responded back and said, "Well, we have the internet on one of our computers, but I don't really see it changing our industry a whole lot." It was a local bank. So it's kind of interesting how, in 10 years, 15 years, it's really completely impacted everything we do. Yep. You no longer have to stand in line to buy tickets for sporting events. You no longer have
We had a side discussion about that. I bought tickets to a soccer game that way.
You no longer have to visit a travel agent or make a phone call to make a plane reservation. You no longer have to actually go out to the mall to do your Christmas shopping. So just the whole level of how the internet has impacted our business lives and what we try to accomplish every day.
The thing I love about the internet is research. Oh my goodness, is it good for that. I think of all the because I did a lot of research, how hard it was back in the library days.
Right.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Well, and even when you're trying to solve technical questions, like in our field, a lot of times the thing that separates you and me when we're trying to solve a technical problem is I know how to magically query that Google search or that Bing search for the actual answer I'm looking for to solve all your problems. I don't know the answers to all your technical problems. My guys, as great as they are, don't know the answers to all the technical problems. But maybe if they can just ask the right Google search or the right Bing search, they can find the answer.
Well, that's interesting because you are correct. I don't always know the right thing. But I get more people who, ask me questions where all they have to do is Google it. And then I do it for them, and it's like, why couldn't you do this yourself? Right. You must have that same thing at times.
We do.
With clients.
But the difference is we get paid to answer that question.
That's true. I haven't made a buck on that yet. Okay. If somebody were interested in this business, what do you think are good prep? How would you approach it? I mean, people say, well, I'd go take consumer or computer science, whatever. But what are your suggestions?
Kind of depends on where you see yourself, what kind of role you see yourself in this career. If you're looking for some of the consulting and the more higher end things that we like to do, having a balance of the technical skills plus some business background always helps. If you just want to be, help desk guy, one of the guys on the bench, in the scenes doing, in the background doing some of the stuff behind the scenes, any of the technical prep schools will give you some good background in networking, applications, programming, those kind of things.
What have you seen in terms of people? Is there any difference in the people who are coming out now and people that you may have hired 10 years ago?
A lot of the local technical schools are doing a real good job of providing some some fundamental education in networking technologies, operating system technologies, kind of how the internet works. So what we've seen, we hired our first employee in 2008. So what we've seen over the course of the past 5 or 6 years is a decent increase in that basic level of knowledge that our employees are coming to us with, or that our candidates are coming to us with.
Well, sometimes people talk about differences, millennials and others.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, in terms of their expectations, their how they want to work, more from home, more whatever, do you run into any of that?
Not at this point, but I kind of see it coming in the future. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that's real fascinating about our business. So much of what we do is cloud-based or internet-based, whatever term you want to use today. So it's really easy for our entire technical staff to work from home. If the weather's not nice out, if the school districts cancel school, we let our technical staff stay home and just respond to emails as they come in, voicemail messages as they come in, because I can remote into your computer and support your computer, whether I'm at my office or a beach in Mexico. All I need is a laptop and internet access.
Not interested in the beach in Mexico. But we're going to take a break, not go to Mexico, and be right back with Paul Bush.